The Chase Center in San Francisco isn't just hosting another tennis match, it's about to become the stage for a generational shift, a theater where Carlos Alcaraz steps out not only as the US Open champion, not only as the world's #1, but as the undisputed leader of European tennis in the Laver Cup. Imagine the atmosphere, thousands of fans under the California lights, the black court shimmering like a battlefield, and Alcaraz walking out with the weight of history pressing on his shoulders. Federer built this event to showcase unity. Nadal and Djokovic carried it with grit and resilience. But now, the torch has passed to a two-year-old Spaniard who's already rewriting the definition of greatness. This is not just another weekend of tennis, it's a proving ground. Europe versus the world, tradition versus ambition, experience versus hunger. Alcaraz opens not with singles glory, but with the unpredictable chaos of doubles, pairing with rising star Jakub Mensik against America's Fritz and Mikkelson. One slip could shift the balance of power. One victory could cement a new era. The question is simple. Can Carlos Alcaraz not only dominate as an individual, but also inspire, adapt, and lead when everything is on the line? Carlos Alcaraz arrives in San Francisco with more than just momentum. He arrives carrying expectation, reputation, and responsibility. His decision to skip Davis Cup duties after the US Open wasn't a retreat, it was strategy. Recharge his body, sharpen his mind, and prepare for the battle that Federer himself designed as a test of character as much as skill. The Laver Cup isn't about rankings or prize money. It's about legacy, it's about pride, and it's about proving that Europe's dominance can survive the end of the Big Three era. Alcaraz knows it. Every eye in the arena will be fixed on him. Every swing of his racket dissected not only as a match result, but as a signal of where tennis is headed. His pairing with Jakub Mensik is no accident. It's a statement. Europe is not just defending its crown, it's unveiling its future. Mensik, barely out of his teenage years, symbolizes the next wave. Together with Alcaraz, they create a snapshot of continuity. One already a multi-Grand Slam champion, the other a rising force. And across the net stand Fritz and Mikkelson, hungry Americans ready to remind the world that Team World's victories in 2022 and 2023 weren't accidents, but warnings. What makes this opening doubles clash so electric is not just the names on the court, but the symbolism behind them. Alcaraz stepping onto the black surface of the Chase Center isn't just a debut, it's a declaration that Europe's future is alive and present. But doubles is a different battlefield. There's no hiding behind your own rhythm. Timing, chemistry, and instinct decide everything. Alcaraz, used to controlling matches with raw power and creativity, now has to sync with Mensik in split seconds, reading each other's movements, trusting each other's instincts. On the other side, Taylor Fritz knows this stage well. He's America's anchor, a player who thrives under pressure with a booming serve that can tilt momentum in an instant. Alongside him, Alex Mikkelson, the fearless prodigy, represents exactly what Team World needs: boldness, risk-taking, and the willingness to swing freely against giants. The match is more than just points on the board, it's psychological warfare. If Fritz and Mikkelson topple Alcaraz here, the energy surging through Team World could shake the entire weekend. But if Alcaraz rises to the occasion, Europe's aura of inevitability grows even stronger before singles action even begins. The Laver Cup's design guarantees suspense, and that's exactly why Alcaraz's debut carries so much weight. Every match across the 3 days escalates in value: 1 point on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. And if the score locks at 12, a sudden death double showdown decides everything. One set, winner takes all. It's this unique structure that transforms every rally into a turning point and makes Friday night in San Francisco far more than just an opener. Alcaraz's match with Mensik could set the entire weekend's tone. Win, and Team Europe builds early confidence, energizing the bench with every high five, every roar from the sidelines. Lose, and suddenly Team World smells blood. They're veterans and rookies alike, emboldened by the idea that even Europe's brightest star can be rattled. That's the essence of the Laver Cup. Momentum swings sharper than in any Grand Slam, because here, teammates ride the highs and lows together. Federer wanted drama, and this format ensures it. Which is why when Alcaraz takes the court, the pressure doesn't come just from the scoreboard, it comes from knowing that one slip could rewrite the story of the entire weekend. For Carlos Alcaraz, this debut is more than just another assignment. It's a test of leadership. At 22, he's already a multiple Grand Slam champion, but the Laver Cup demands something different. It demands that he become the heartbeat of a team, not just a lone warrior. Federer and Nadal once embodied that role, rallying teammates, offering advice, and showing that Europe's strength wasn't only in talent, but in unity. Now, it's Alcaraz's turn. He must inspire Mensik, guide the younger generation, and prove that he can anchor Europe the same way the legends did. This isn't about lifting a trophy alone, it's about lifting an entire bench. And in San Francisco, the cameras won't just capture Alcaraz's shots, they'll capture his reactions, his body language, the way he encourages others after tough points. That's the weight of expectation. He's not only expected to win, he's expected to lead. And in a competition where morale can decide the final outcome, that leadership may prove just as valuable as any forehand winner he unleashes under the California lights. But leadership alone won't guarantee victory. Execution under pressure will. That's where Alcaraz's presence becomes almost overwhelming for Team World. Every time he steps onto a court, the weight of his reputation follows. Opponents know they're not just playing a match, they're playing against the reigning US Open champion, the man who just redefined clay court tennis in his epic Roland Garros battle with Jannik Sinner, a match so intense, even Alexander Zverev admitted he'd never seen anything like it. That kind of aura can intimidate, it can disrupt an opponent before the first ball is struck. Yet doubles is dangerous. There's less room for intimidation, more room for chaos. A net cord, a reflex volley, a surprise angle can swing the balance in seconds. For Fritz and Mikkelson, the challenge isn't only about Alcaraz's power, it's about not being swallowed by the occasion. For Alcaraz, the challenge isn't just hitting winners, it's proving that his dominance in singles can translate into the chemistry of doubles. One mistake might fuel Team World's belief. One statement point could crush it before it even begins. What makes this weekend even more compelling is the shadow of history. For years, Europe owned the Laver Cup, building an aura of invincibility under Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. Then came 2022 and 2023, when Team World finally broke through and flipped the script. Those victories weren't just wins on paper, they shattered the myth that Europe couldn't be beaten. Berlin in 2024 restored Europe's control, thanks largely to Alcaraz, but San Francisco feels different. It feels like a crossroads. If Europe wins here, the dynasty continues seamlessly into a new era with Alcaraz at the helm. If Team World strikes again, it signals that Europe's dominance may not be guaranteed anymore. That's why this opening doubles match is loaded with symbolism. It's a battle not only for points, but for identity. Is Europe still the continent of untouchable champions? Or is Team World ready to claim permanent parity? Alcaraz, standing where Federer once stood, is the answer to that question. And the truth will be written rally by rally on the black court of Chase Center. For Alcaraz, though, the Laver Cup is more than just results. It's about embodying the vision Federer set when he created it. This event was never meant to be just another exhibition. It was designed to showcase unity in a sport built on isolation. For one weekend, rivals become teammates, and legends pass down their legacy from the bench. Federer and Nadal once shared the same side of the net in a doubles match that still gives fans goosebumps. Now, Alcaraz and Mensik take up that torch, representing not only skill but continuity. And what makes Alcaraz magnetic is how naturally he embraces the moment. He doesn't look crushed by the comparisons to Federer, Nadal, or Djokovic. He looks energized by them. He smiles under pressure, thrives in chaos, and shows joy even when carrying enormous weight. That's what makes him different. He doesn't just survive expectation, he turns it into fuel. And in San Francisco, that energy could be the single biggest weapon Team Europe has, not just his forehand, not just his serve, but his ability to make pressure look like opportunity. And yet, as powerful as Alcaraz already is, San Francisco isn't just about the present, it's about the future of tennis. Every edition of the Laver Cup tells a story of transition. Federer's elegance, Nadal's grit, Djokovic's resilience, and now Alcaraz's fearlessness. The difference is that he's not carrying the torch alone, he's sharing it with a new generation like Mensik, signaling that Europe's dominance could stretch far beyond a single star. For Team World, this is both a threat and an opportunity. If they can crack Alcaraz early, it plants seeds of doubt in Europe's armor. But if he stamps his authority across the weekend, it sends a chilling reminder: Europe is not done, not even close. The black court at the Chase Center will become a canvas where every point paints the bigger picture: Europe's continuity or Team World's revolution. And right in the center of it stands Carlos Alcaraz, smiling, swinging, leading, and showing the world that tennis has entered a new golden age. As the weekend builds toward its climax, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Carlos Alcaraz is no longer a rising star chasing legends. He is the standard, the force everyone else must measure themselves against. The Laver Cup in San Francisco isn't just another stop on the calendar. It's a proving ground where Europe's supremacy and Team World's ambition collide. Every shot Alcaraz strikes, every point he wins or loses, ripples beyond the scoreboard. It shapes the narrative of an entire generation. If he delivers, Europe's dynasty marches on, and his reputation as both champion and leader becomes unshakable. If he falters, Team World senses an opening, and the balance of power tilts. Either way, history will remember these nights in California as more than matches. They are markers in the transformation of tennis. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic once carried this torch. Now Alcaraz does, and his presence makes the Laver Cup not just a competition, but a coronation. The future of tennis has arrived, and it wears the smile, the swagger, and the fire of Carlos Alcaraz.